Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using White Newman, a sacred animal, a sacred animal tarot, created by Elba BG. I'm going to slow my words down here. And then there's the liminal11.com website if you're interested, you want to find out more. Supportive Oracle cards. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. There's websites on the back here if you want to freeze frame and check them out. I thought there was a Colette Baron Reed one, but I didn't see it. There was a little card in there. I didn't see it on that either. But if you search up Colette Baron Reed on a search engine, you should easily find stuff for her. Whew. What do we have for Virgo? Oh, we got a couple cards coming out at once. Okay. Alright, so... Okay, well, we'll allow it. You've popped out, so what are you? The World card! Okay, there's options here. The World card is like a new phase. You have the possibility for one. Do you want that to happen is more the question. Do you want that to happen? Because where you're starting from is very odd. So let's just try to get into it. You got the Six of Wands. That's success. You got the Black Newman. That's like a void. That's like the destruction of something or the lack of something. Something's missing. So it's like you're living in both worlds where you got technically. I actually feel like if you look at it on paper, and if I can keep my, I don't know why there's a lot of energy here, but there is. On paper, it looks like things are great. Emotionally, it does not feel that way. You may be a very self-sufficient person, but not very happy that that's how things have to be. For some of you, maybe you're in a manager role, or maybe you're in a friendship or relationship where you take the lead, but that's not really how you want it to go. And there's success here, but it's like, I feel like I'm constantly the one leading, I'm constantly the one creating it. I would like some support here. I wish I didn't have to lead everything. Why do I have to lead everything? But it's almost like I get what I want if I'm the one leading it forward. If I create it, it happens. That Black Newman is very interesting because this deck has 2 extra cards. That's one. And there's the White Newman. You didn't get that one. But the Black Newman is hard because it's like something isn't working and something is really holding the energy down. And it's kind of like, does something here need to be recreated in a different way? Whatever the situation is, I feel like when it started, maybe you knew this is how it was going to be. And there is success here. And it's stayed the same the whole time. And ironically, you're an Earth sign. Earth usually likes things that are predictable. But this, I feel like, even though I knew this is what it was going to be, I didn't understand that this is how it was going to feel over time. And I feel like at this point, it's starting to feel something isn't right. It just feels like something isn't right. I feel like I should like it a lot more than I do. I keep getting that. I feel like I should like it a lot more than I actually do. And it's bothering me. This is very interesting at this point. Because there's a lot of pressure. Because part of you seems to feel, I've done it this far, I guess I'm just going to keep doing it this way. At the same time, you're like, but I'm leading this forward. If I want to change it, I have the power to change it. I just got to convince myself to do it. And the biggest hurdle you have to get across to change this is to convince yourself to do that. Because whatever you're struggling with, even though it's good on the outside, you're not feeling, I feel like I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm not feeling like this fits. The biggest hurdle to get across is to convince yourself to do it differently because you're used to doing it the way you've been doing it. You may be struggling constantly, but you're so used to the struggle that you don't know how to get out of it. You're like, yeah, it's hard, and yeah, I don't like it, but I know at least what to do. This is very much the devil I know versus the devil I don't. And it's kind of like, I know how to handle the devil I know. I'm afraid of the devil I don't. But you know you can get through it. I feel like a lot of you know that too. If you start changing things, if whatever that new devil is, you know you can deal with that. You dealt with the old one. But it's kind of like, yeah, but it's intimidating. But you know you can do it. You have a chance for things to change. You could change things. The world card is here, but it's kind of like it's off to the side in a weird way. Like this isn't showing up on its own. It's showing up if you create it, which is very interesting. Now is the time to start literally strategizing if you don't like what's going on here. Now is the time to make that change. Is there a way to start making changes and to keep what you want and to make this more what you want it to be? There are options here. I'm nervous of the options is what I'm getting. Because I'm looking to change the structure here a little bit. And it could be some foundation things that have to be updated. It's kind of like there's a crack in the wall in the basement. I've just been kind of working with it. It's a foundation crack. I don't know what to do with it. But if I start looking at the correct, like there's ways to fix that stuff. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy or simple or cheap, but there's ways to do it. It's just what type of inconvenience is going to happen to make that an actual option. And can I keep what I actually want from the situation? Can I keep what I want from the situation, or is there other challenges that might come in? It's time to start strategizing to find what those things are. And it just starts with, like, what do you like from it? What do you not like from it? If the situation was going the way you liked, what would it look like? And how do you get closer to that? What paths would take you closer to that? So, for example, if it's a job where I feel like I'm constantly in control, I constantly have to lead. Maybe you're a manager and you don't really care for it. I've known managers that, like, they don't mind the manager role. It's very taxing to deal with certain people. Is there a better way to deal with those people, or is it just that you don't want to deal with people anymore? Like stuff like that. What is it that you don't like about it? Because I have no managers like that. Can we get a little bit more clarity if I'm missing something? Two of Swords and the Sun card. Do you just not want to do whatever you're doing anymore? Are you just like, this is played out? Maybe, for example, we're going to use that business thing again. You're a manager and you're like, I just don't want to be one anymore. I want to keep making this level of money. I just don't want to do this job anymore. It's just that. Maybe that's what it is. And maybe that, because you got the Sun card with the Two of Swords, when I asked that, like, is there anything I'm missing? Maybe you just don't want to do what you're doing anymore, and you just want to do something different. And it's just kind of like, Virgo doesn't usually make quick changes, but maybe it's starting to, like, look at options. If you don't want to do this anymore, what options do you have out there? Do you need different schooling? Do you need better schooling? Do you need a different place to work? Do you need a different department? Do you need to work for yourself? If you're doing it anyway on your own, maybe you do work by yourself. Maybe you own your own business, but you don't want to do that anymore. What would it take to change this? Because I'm getting, you got the hard questions coming up. The situation, the road doesn't seem like it's getting easier. It just seems like it's getting harder. Even though you have success, it's kind of like, yeah, but I don't enjoy it. I'm not happy. It's weird because I keep thinking if I look at it on paper, it should be great. It just doesn't feel that way. What do I need to do to change this? The High Priestess makes the hard decisions. Some of these decisions people are really not going to like. But if it makes your life better and it makes it so you can love life and you can enjoy life, maybe these are decisions that need to happen. You have to break out of the confines of the Hierophant, which is ironic because you are very compatible with that. The confines usually you're very compatible with. the boundaries. You're usually like, I can thrive in boundaries. I know what to do and what not to do. This isn't working anymore. You have to break out of these boundaries. You have to step out of whatever somebody else wants, and you got to find your own true happiness. And that's what I'm getting with this. Because your happiness is there. It is available. And it's not going to happen overnight, but we got to start making the steps. If you start making the steps in that direction, you will get where you want to be, to where you're happy again. Ironically, it's kind of like once you start taking those steps to change your situation, it will slowly but surely start feeling better. Because once you see it on the horizon, once you see it way out there, as long as you know it's there and you're working towards it, you'll start feeling some relief. And the closer you get to your goal, the better you're going to feel. Take it with a grain of salt. If this reading is hitting, it's up to you. You don't have to do anything. It's up to you. But you can have this. It would be a complete change. A whole new phase would come in because of it. But if it's a whole new phase where you're actually happy, how much is that worth to you? This might be one of those things where maybe the money isn't the same moving forward. If we're going to use the business analogy, maybe the money's not the same. But like, if you're not happy with what you have, like, if you're making $100 an hour now and you're not happy, and you make a $50 an hour later and you are happy, isn't that actually worth, doesn't that have more value? Doesn't your happiness have more value? How does that balance out? So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's almost like $100, then you have to minus out that you're not happy. So how much is that really worth? $50 an hour, then you add in your happiness to it. How much is that worth? It's up to you. It's up to you. Totally up to you. Obviously. I think this reading is supposed to be an encouragement to make a change so that you can really enjoy life. Keep that in mind. That's the point. Life is only worth it when you enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, even though it looks good on paper, what is it really worth? That's the point. That's the total point. Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.